What's going on, everybody? King Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Wrestlemania 31 Seth Rollins Money in the Bank Seth Cashes in. Now here we have Seth Rollins in the box. You can see he does come with the new WWE title as well as a Money in the Bank briefcase. And it does look like a really nice figure, and I can't wait to get him out of the box. So right here we have a nice image of Seth Rollins. On the side, that same image in black and white. On the other side, the image of Seth Rollins again. And the box shows Seth at WrestleMania. And we have a little bit of a read-up right here. It says, Seth walked into Levi Stadium in San Jose for WrestleMania 31 with more baggage than most superstars. The extra baggage was the Money in the Bank briefcase that he'd been lugging around, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to cash in. After a stunning defeat at the hands of rival Randy Orton, Rollins fans may have been disappointed, but Mr. Money in the Bank was just getting started. In a show-stopping move, Rollins became the first superstar not only to cash in the briefcase at WrestleMania, but to do so in the middle of a match. Having suddenly turned the Brock Lesnar vs. Roman Reigns match into an epic triple threat match, Rollins curb-stomped both of his opponents to take home the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the biggest stage, on WWE's biggest stage. Seth Rollins picked his moment and proved to the world that the future is now. Something interesting to point out is that it says figures and rings sold separately, although I don't see a ring on the back of this box, so I think they just do that for all the boxes, even though that wasn't necessary for this one. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is take a little moment, get Seth Rollins posing out of the packaging, then we'll continue with his review, so sit tight, everyone. And so here we have Seth Rollins posing out of the packaging. Now before we get onto the figure himself, let's actually show off his accessories, shall we? First things first, the thing that led up to this entire figure, the Money in the Bank briefcase. Really happy he does come with the Money in the Bank briefcase. It is golden, as you can see. The Money in the Bank logo is painted on, although it feels etched on it though, and I don't think it... No, it's not etched on it, but the paint, you can obviously feel that the paint is risen up from it. So that's pretty cool. I'm just going to be feeling that for a little bit, but he does come with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Unlike the actual briefcase, it doesn't have it on this side, you just have the WWE logo. But chances are you're going to be displaying your figure with this facing forward, and we've gotten plenty of Money in the Bank briefcases, but this is the first time I get the golden briefcase, although there are other figures that come with it. Let's zoom the camera back out, just so you can see. One problem I have with it is that it is oversized. It shouldn't be this big. It should actually be like about that big, and it should be smaller, that's all I'm saying. But moving that off to the side so we can show off the other accessory he comes with, which is the new WWE title. Let's actually zoom in on that. If you're wondering if it's different than the other WWE Championship, let's actually bring that out really fast. There is a huge difference between both the titles, and it's just not the design of the center plate and the side plates. You can see that this is actually vac metallized, so it shines and looks golden. This is just gold paint. I'm okay with the gold paint. However, this is something that a lot of collectors tend to disagree about, and it's the way that this belt is made. Where you have this belt, you have the piece of plastic, the rubbery plastic that holds the belt, and then you also have the plates, which are their own individual pieces, which makes this title. This title, however, does not have these plates on it. If I were to turn it around, it's just a solid piece. There are no plates on this. Now, that does bring up the point that it doesn't... You can't put vac metal on this because then it'll bleed onto the black, and you don't want that. So you can't get the shine that these titles have, without this messing up somehow. But I do like this because this is actually raised a bit, so if you would put this on the figure, it looked like it's floating. This sits more flush on your figure, so you don't risk this scratching paint or, you know, wearing down and leaving an imprint on the figures. This is just one piece and it fits flush on the figure, and let me actually show that off. Let's actually show with this title first. You can see how there is some gapping between him and the title, mainly because of the plates. With this title, however, putting it on, it sits flush on him, and you can actually wrap it around and it sits flush. It's actually thinner too, so it's a little more realistic, but there are some cons to it. Like, you're not going to get the full shininess that this title has, but I'm okay with that because the new title, it really isn't shiny, like sparkling, glittering. You can tell it's gold and it has enough sheen on it, so I'm okay with this belt. And if you're wondering, yes, it does fit on the figure. It's just fits around nicely, and like I said, it fits really snug on the figure, so and I just like that. So do I like it? Yes and no. In the end, I'm really satisfied with this belt. And you can hear the dogs in the background. I'm sorry about that. But zooming out so we can go on to the rest of the figure. Here we have Seth Rollins in his WrestleMania attire. I think WrestleMania was the first time he wore these gold trimmed tights. I might be wrong. But overall, just really clean paint apps on him. One thing he is missing are the gold trimming on the kick pads. He did have gold trim on his kick pads. Also, he wears different kick pads than the ones that they have. Let's actually move all the titles and stuff off to the side. Okay, like I say, he doesn't have any gold trim on his kick pads, which is a little unfortunate because I think he wore the gold trim kick pads at WrestleMania. I might be wrong on that. But anyway, let's go on to his face. Here we have a really angry looking Seth Rollins. One thing to also note is that his hair isn't all blonde on this side. You can see it's starting to fade away, and Seth Rollins has actually been fading out the blonde out of his hair, so this is quite accurate. Do I like it? Yes, and you can even see on the inside it's not all painted like it should be. But like I said, he is fading out the blonde streaks in his hair. And it looks like Seth Rollins, a really angry Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins nonetheless. You can see the beard is sculpted on. And he's really chiseled, actually. Let's actually zoom out a little. He has a more ripped body. He is really defined as an individual, and kudos to Mattel for actually going with this body bulk. And then, yes, he does have his tattoo on his back, as you can see. I have no idea what his tattoo is supposed to say, but there are the characters to it, and zooming back out. There are the characters. He isn't wearing his belt, or they didn't put any detail on the belt, but you can see the Seth Rollins logo, the SR. And then, like I said, the gold is painted really well. On the knee pads, it could have been better, especially on the back, as you can see right here. I think it's a black knee pad, painted gold. But overall, just a really nice painted figure, really well done in my opinion. Now let's go on to his articulation, and he is sporting the standard WWE Elite Articulation. If you're not familiar with the articulation, he has a ball jointed head. He can look up, down, left and right, tilt his head side to side, so full range of movement in the head. Arms on a ball joint go out. This arm's a little stiff. Do a full 360. He spins at the bicep, single jointed at the elbow. He spins and bends at the wrist. And it's the same for both arms. He has a ab crunch, which goes back and forward. He spins at the waist. His legs go forward, back, and out. He spins at the thigh. He is double jointed in the knee. And you can't really see because of the knee pad, but that's one joint, and that's two. So Elites do have double jointed knees, in case you're wondering. He also has a swivel at the kick pad. He has the old style kick pad, which I like. The old style kick pad has the top of the kick pad part of the calf here, so that the kick pad itself rotates, not the actual boot. He has a hinged ankle, which is tight. All my elites, most of my elite figures have tight ankles, so I'm really okay with that. And of course he has pivot in the ankle. So that's Seth Rollins for you. What I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, then we'll wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have Seth Rollins posed for my final thoughts. And overall, just a really great figure. A really nice update to Seth Rollins, which I think we really needed. I only wish that he came with the shirt that he wore against Randy Orton. I understand that the scene that he's from is when he cashed in at the Lesnar-Reigns match. But maybe they could have thrown in the shirt just because he is an exclusive and give us more bang for our bucks. I don't know. I mean, they gave Lesnar a shirt and a beanie. But anyway, if you can find this Seth Rollins, I highly recommend you pick him up. He is a must-have for your collection. He is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at the time I'm making this video. Now, I found this Seth Rollins at Toys R Us. This is a Toys R Us exclusive figure, so if you want this Seth Rollins, you have to track him down at Toys R Us. Thankfully, he just came out, so if you're looking for him, just be patient. You will find him eventually. And if your Toys R Us doesn't have him, you can always order him off Toys R Us website. I got lucky. I went to the store with my brother the other day, didn't find him, stopped by Toys R Us before going to work, and boom, he was there. It's almost like the day after it happened. But I really do enjoy this figure. It comes with a really nice title. Like I said, I like this title for what it's worth. I'm not going to say it's the worst thing ever. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like it. Tell me what you think of this Seth Rollins figure. Is he worth it? Do you think this is the best Seth Rollins figure they have made? Is it a welcome update? You tell me, is the briefcase too big? I honestly think so. They need a smaller briefcase. And my dog is trying to take over. So what I'm going to do now is just end the review here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm King of Dragons 5000, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone.